Hello everybody. In this video we're gonna discuss one new topic that's related to Microsoft Excel, and it is kind of important in some cases, like the case that I'm gonna talk about today, and I believe it's gonna be of importance to some users. Before I talk about this feature or this thing, I want to start with like a case and like something that I want to do, and we'll see a problem that we're going to face, and from this point we will understand this feature or this thing that we're going to talk about today. So let's say we have a table like this. And this table consists of two columns. The first column has characters or letters, and the second consists of numbers. And for each letter, there is a number that corresponds to it. And let's say I want to extract data from this table using the VLOOKUP function. So I'm gonna put the letter A here, and I'm gonna use the VLOOKUP function to look up this value in this table and search for the corresponding value in column number 2, and I want uh, to have an exact match, and then it worked. Or let's put it false so that it doesn't make any problem. So we have a 679, so it works nicely, no problem. If we put C, it's gonna 683, so it's okay. If we put F, it's gonna, oops, if we put G, it's gonna give us 721. So it's working very, very efficiently with no problems. However, if we go to like put the uppercase C, we should expect the output to be 291, but it's giving the output as 683, which is the corresponding value to the lowercase c. Again, if we put the uppercase F, it's going to give us 908, while I should expect it to give me 531. So from this we can find out that the VLOOKUP function is not a case-sensitive function, which means that it does not differentiate between the upper and lower cases for the same letter. So for the VLOOKUP function, the upper and lowercase f are the same thing. So it searches for the f, whatever its case is, and the first one that it finds is the one that it produces. So that's why it's giving the 908, because it's first. So let's say I have the uppercase F here. It's gonna give me the 632 because this is the first in the list. So this is a problem for me, because I need to have a function that can differentiate between them, or between the cases. So there are one or two options: either to find another function that can do this, which is looking up a value in a list, and in the same time to be case sensitive, or to trick the VLOOKUP function to be a case sensitive function. I don't know of a function that's case sensitive and does the VLOOKUP, or what the VLOOKUP does. So I couldn't go for the first option. And please, if you know any function that does this, let me know in the comments. The second option is to trick the function, which is the solution that I was able to do. And to understand this solution, there is one information that you need to know well before we proceed with the next steps. So this information is related to the way the software deals with the letters or the characters in general, not just the letters. So for a character like A, B, C, whatever, you see this as letter A, but the software does not see this as a letter A. What actually the software does, it has, let's imagine that the software contains like a bunch of boxes, and each box is like kept for one character. You can keep only one character in each box, and each box has a number or a code. So you see this as letter A, but the software sees this as the content of box number 1, for instance, and then B is the content for box number 2, whatever. And then the uppercase A is kept in another box. So the code for letter A, the lowercase a, is different from the code for the uppercase A. So this is the point, that there are codes for each, or a code for each letter, and you can find out these codes. It's not a big deal. So there are functions that can do this for you. So let's say I have letter A, I can use a function that's called code, and it says it returns the numeric code for the first character in a text string. So it gives you 97. So this is the number corresponding to, or the code for letter A in the software. You can do this for letter B, you can do this for any letters. It's going to give you the corresponding code. You can do the opposite, which is, you know, the code and you want to find the character that corresponds to this code. So it's going to be the function called character, CHAR, and it returns the character specified by the code number. It's gonna be the exact opposite. It's gonna flip the process. So instead of having the number or the character and giving the code, you're giving the code and it's producing the character. So it's gonna be like pretty much the same thing, or the other way. So this is pretty nice thing, and actually you can find you can do this yourself. I had here the list of the codes for all the characters. Here you see that this is A, the uppercase A and lowercase a. There's a difference. The same for ST, or for all letters there are differences. So this is one thing that's very characteristic to each letter, and you can use it to differentiate between the upper and lower cases in a case like the VLOOKUP function, like what we have here. So the way I did this is that I added a new column to my table, and in this column I asked or produce the code that corresponds to each one of these characters. Okay, and then for the for the VLOOKUP, I produced the code for the character that I am interested in, and instead of searching for in the table for the character, I'm gonna search for the code. So I'm gonna go for or start the table by the second column. So this is where the VLOOKUP is gonna look, and instead of looking for letter F, it's gonna look for the code that corresponds to the letter F. And in this case, the solution or the problem is solved. Now you have F is producing 531 instead of producing 908. If you go for the lowercase f, it's giving you the 908. So now the VLOOKUP is a case-sensitive function now. It's not a case-sensitive, but I tricked it so that it can work as if it is a case-sensitive function. You can do some tricks so that you can make the file look like how it used to be in the beginning. You can hide this column. It's still there. You can see that column B is available here, but you just hid it so nobody can see it, and nobody knows that there is a column that you hid. And instead of doing the VLOOKUP on this, I can delete this this function and put it inside. So it's gonna be the code for E3, and we can delete this, and now it's back to its original shape. And this is A, and this is the uppercase A. Now it's B, the uppercase B. So it's working like perfect now, and we have no problems with this. So this is the point of the video. There is one more point I want to discuss with you, which is other two functions which are like code and character, almost the same. So I have A and B, again the same things here, and there is a function that's called unicode that does the same thing as the uni character did, as the code did. So I'm gonna put them here so that we can see both of them well. So I'm gonna again do the character so that we can see the difference between what we have here. So this is Unicode, and this is, again, it's the same unique character, so it's exactly the same thing. So you're doing this for A and for B, and it's working. So you might feel confused, like why the software would have two functions doing the exact same thing. So it works here, but at some point the code function would be kind of limited, and it will not work in some cases. For instance, if you have, and this is the reason I explored the uni function and the uni character and Unicode, is that I was using non-English letters. I was using Arabic letters, and in this case, if you use letter A, or this is called alif. So this letter alif is corresponds to 1571. However, this is using the Unicode, and it worked well. It gave me the code, and the Uni character gave me the exact character, so it's working. But in the code function, it's not gonna work. It's gonna give me another number which I don't know how it produced this number, and the character produced the character which corresponds to the code of 66, which is not what I should get. So they do not work for special characters. For some fonts, I believe if you're using some fonts that have characters that are not there, it might not give you the same thing. But it's primarily, I believe, the code and character functions work for English letters. But if you're using non-English letters for any other language, the Arabic, Hindu, whatever the language that you're using, then it's not going to work. So I personally prefer to use the Unicode and the Uni character functions, because they are, to the best of my knowledge, they are more general and can work for any kind of characters that you're dealing with. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video. In the next video, by the way, by the next video, you'll see if we have a case like this, but instead of dealing with just one letter, you deal with a text, like a word or two or something. How you can deal with these kind of things, how you can check that this is exactly the same as this. So this is going to be the topic of the next video, inshallah. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.